Hey Bookish Babes, and welcome to my book nook. For those that are new around here, the name's Rainy Barton. I teach elementary music and middle school musical theater, and I also read books. And I read books of all types. It used to be just thriller and horror, but now I've gotten into dark romance, sci-fi, fantasy, contemporary, all the things. So if you're interested in that, please like and subscribe down below. It really does help my channel grow. Today's video, we are doing my May TBR, which is my Friends themed trivia challenge. So I took the game that is in the trivia game that is in the show Friends. If you've never seen that episode before, it is fabulous. It's called the one with the embryos, for reference. And basically, I roll a dice, I answer some prompts, and we see what books I'm going to be reading. We have fears and pet peeves for thriller and horror, ancient history for romance, literature for historical fiction and literary fiction, and it's all relative for sci-fi fantasy. And I will put the playlist down below of all the current and previous episodes because I started this in January of 2022. So, we are just going to get started. We do 6 rolls, and that is how it goes. But first, we're going to talk about April. And my update for April is, don't ask me about it. It was terrible. It was the worst month I've ever had. And my excuse is I had my baby 3 weeks early. And so I have a 12-day-old at the time I'm filming this. By the time you see this, I will have a 2-week-old. So that is my excuse. And that's all I'm going to say. I didn't read that many books. But I'm rocking and rolling now with the pumping. I pump for 30 minutes every 3 or 3.5 hours because we're struggling with breastfeeding. And I've been reading like crazy and getting books read in like a day. So this month could be my best reading month ever. I just feel it. I've already finished a book and it's May 1st as I'm filming this. So win-win. All right, let's get into the rolls. Okay, so 34 is under Fears and Pet Peeves, which is thriller and horror, and it is a yellow. And I have put all of my prompts back in because it's been a while since I've been sending out prompts, and so I didn't have that many to choose from left. So here we go. Read a sapphic novel. I feel like I've gotten that before for thriller and horror, so I'm going to see if I actually have any, and if I don't actually have any, then I'm going to roll again because I'm trying to read my physical TBR. Okay, so I had no luck with sapphic thriller, but when I typed in sapphic horror, I found a couple that I own. I have Our Wives Under the Sea. Actually, I don't think I have that anymore, but I could get it. I own The Luminous Dead. I see a couple in here I want to read, like Her Body and Other Parties, Gideon the Ninth, My Dearest Darkest. I own Saw Kill Girls. I don't own House of Hunger. I've already read Things Have Gotten Worse Since We Last Spoke. I do own House of Hollow. This could be a good time to read that. So honestly, it's probably between The Luminous Dead and House of Hollow. So I'm going to look over both of those and come back to you with an answer in just a sec. Okay, so upon further investigation, this made me think that I actually want to do a sapphic horror vlog with all of these books because so many of those books look so interesting, but I'm going to stick to one that's on my TBR. And I'm going to go with one that I don't know if I would ever actually read otherwise because I'm not a huge YA person. And so I'm going with House of Hollow by Crystal Sutherland, which the cover alone is beautiful. But anyway, this one says it's about Iris Hollow and her 2 older sisters are unquestionably strange. As children, they disappeared on a Scottish city street only to return a month later with no memory of what had happened to them or where they'd been. And their appearance changed. Their blue eyes are black, their dark hair is white. As they grew older, odd occurrences follow in their wake. People find them disturbingly intoxicating, unbearably beautiful, and inexplicably dangerous. Now 17-year-old Iris is doing all she can to fit in and graduate high school on time. But when Gray goes missing, leaving behind bizarre clues as to where her whereabouts, Iris and Vivi are left to find her, but they aren't the only ones looking. As they brush against the supernatural, Iris quickly realizes the story she's been told about their past is unraveling, and the world that returningly then seemingly unharmed 10 years ago might just be calling them back again. And I've heard it's sapphic. That's what it said. If it's not, I apologize. But this is what we're going to go with. So I'm actually really excited about this. And it's only 292 pages, so I think I can get it done. All right, on to the next roll. So 46 is ancient history, which is romance, and it is an orange one. And I do have some romances that I want to get to because I am doing 72 hours in the smut den at the end of the month. So let's see if I can make one of those fit. And it is read the shortest book on your TBR. That does not help. That does not help. That does not help. Read the shortest romance, though, on my TBR? Okay, so we're going to do that. So I want you to actually be able to see it with me. So I'm going to screen record here so that you can see what is on my TBR. And I do have an actual shelf for this, my physical TBR. And have I updated every book? know, but I'm pretty sure I've done most. So let's do it by number of pages. Okay, I'm waiting for it to load. And let's do from how many pages? Does it say? Hold on. I feel like this can't be right, but no, not date added. Number of pages. I feel like I don't agree with this. Okay, that's definitely longest books. Oh, okay. It says the number underneath. Okay, we're going to go with this. Shortest. And these ones don't have books pages on. Okay, the shortest romance that I own. Oh, interesting. Okay, I'm just seeing what else comes up. Okay, honestly, the shortest romance I have is one of the Mind F series. Which is the Mind F series by S.T. Abbey. So I guess I'm reading book 3, which I'm pretty sure this was on my TBR in March as well, and I just didn't make it happen. So I'm gonna read book 3, so let me grab it. Book in this series is like 100 pages, and I've read book 1 and 2, and so this is on page 239, and it ends... Is it called? It's called Scarlet Angel. So let me find where Scarlet Angel ends. Oh, it's not that long. Oh gosh, it is literally almost there. It is 140 pages. Yeah, this is the shortest one that I have. So if you don't know what this one is about, it's about Lena and how basically, I mean, I'm pretty sure that's her name. Her name's Lena, right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Lana. Okay, it's about Lana, and she's basically a female serial killer that only murders people that have wronged her in the past, men specifically, and she's also dating the FBI, the leading FBI agent that is searching for her but doesn't know that he's searching for her. So there is your thriller romance. So I'm going to read book 3 finally. I might as well finish all of them because I do want to know how this ends. So I'm excited that this made it to the TBR. So now we're going to go to roll 3. Okay, so 37 is sci-fi fantasy, which is pink, and I didn't have any fantasy or sci-fi planned for this round, so kinda hoping, I don't know. Alright, let's go with this. Read a book that fits the season you're in. Well, the season I'm in is being a new mom. And so what I think that is going to mean to me is reading a book that I really want to read because I'm a new mom and I don't have that much time to read. So that's the season I'm in. I'm going to pick a sci-fi fantasy book that embraces the season I'm in. So I'll be right back. So I picked a fantasy book that I've been wanting to read and also picked a book that I'm supposed to be reading for Besties Book Club this month for May. So double win right there. And that is Legends and Lattes by Travis Baldree. I've been wanting to read this for a hot minute. I heard it is the perfect little cozy fantasy book, and so I am excited to read it. I don't really know what it's about. I think it is about an orc that wants to open the first ever coffee shop in the city of Thune, but there are a bunch of rebels in her way and no one actually knows what coffee is. If she wants to put the blade behind her and make her plans a reality, she won't be able to go alone. And then she meets a bunch of travelers along the way, and it says, whether drawn together by ancient magic, a flaky pastry, or a freshly brewed cup, they may become partners, family, and something deeper than she could have ever dreamed. And so I'm very excited for this. I've been wanting to read this forever, and I'm really glad that I was able to make this fit into a prompt into the season of life that I'm in, because as a new mom, I'm going to read books that I want to read. All right, roll 4. 25 is another sci-fi fantasy. It's an orange one this time again, so let's go orange. I have a feeling this is not going to be my friend, but whatever. Read a book with flowers on the cover. I actually do need to read a book with flowers on the cover for this month for a different vlog, but it was not supposed to be a fantasy, so... Okay, let's look at my sci-fi fantasy. I'll be back. Okay, I'm putting this on here, but it's a very chunky book. Not saying I couldn't do it, and I do want to read it. I've been wanting to read this since I got it, so I think it's finally time to read Daughter of the Moon Goddess by Sue Lynn Tan, and I still need to get the sequel to this. I'm not entirely sure what this is about. It says, It's inspired by the legend of Chang'e, the Chinese moon goddess, in which a young woman's quest to free her mother sets her on a dangerous path and pits her against the most powerful immortal in the realms. And so that's all I'm going to say about it, because I don't know how to pronounce half of the names in this book. I'm hoping there's like a name pronunciation thing, but I'm not seeing that. Book is just under 500 pages, but I'm going to try my best to read it because, like I said, I have been wanting to read this. I feel like I'm finally getting books on this TBR that, like, I don't know when I would have read them otherwise, and I feel like this is the time to do it because I am at home for the next 3 months. So we're going to give it our all. On to roll 5. The 22 is a literature, which is historical fiction and literary fiction, and we haven't gotten one of those yet for this game. So let's shuffle. It's pink. And here we go. Read a book with a title longer than 5 words. Oh man, I really wanted to read that one. Unfortunate. Okay, with more than 5 words, I'll be back. I only had one book that fit that. Everything was like 5 letters or 5 words or under. And I'm not actually in the mood for this. I have to be in a mood for my favorite author, for Jodi Picoult, and I'm not in the mood for her right now, but that was the only book that was available, so I'm going to try to get in the mood to read this, because I haven't read it, and I only have like 4 books left on her backlist before I can make a Jodi Picoult like recommendations and rankings video, and so that is The Book of Two Ways. This one says, everything changes in a single moment for Dawn Edelstein. She's on a plane when the flight attendant makes an announcement, prepare for a crash landing. The shocking thing is that her final thoughts are of a man she last saw 15 years ago, Wyatt Armstrong. Back in Boston, her husband Brian, beloved daughter, and work as a death doula is waiting for her, but somewhere in Egypt is Wyatt, who works as an archaeologist unearthing ancient burial sites. Dawn miraculously survives, and after the crash landing, the airline offers the survivors transportation to where they want to go, and instead, she has to decide whether she's going to go home or return to the archaeological site she left years before and reconnect with Wyatt and maybe even complete her research on the Book of Two Ways, the first known map of the afterlife. Damn, this actually sounds really good. You know what? Maybe I am in the mood for Jodi Picoult. I seriously love her, and this could make me go on a Jodi Picoult, not rant binge, because I just love her writing. I love it, love it, love it, love it. All right, on to roll 6. 39 is Fears and Pet Peeves, Thriller and Horror. It is a yellow, which we are running very low on. Yellow is honestly the one I have the least of. So there we go. Free choice, baby! Bow, bow, bow. All right, let me look at my TBR and see if there's actually any books that I need to read this month in the thriller and horror, and then I will put them as the one for this. Okay, I am currently filming a haunted house vlog, so I'm just going to put one of those books on here that I know I need to read for this month, and that is The Spite House by Johnny Compton, which I was supposed to read this already in February for Books and Lala's book club, or March, I think, and I didn't, so I'll read it now. It's about Eric Ross is on the run from a mysterious past with his 2 daughters in tow. When he comes across a strange ad for the Mason house in Texas, he thinks they may have caught a lucky break. The most haunted place needs a caretaker. All they have to do is stay in the house and keep a detailed record of everything that happens there. The job calls to Eric not just because there's a huge payout, but because he needs access to the secrets of the Spite House. If it's indeed haunted, maybe it'll help him understand the uncanny power that clings to his family, driving them from town to town, too afraid to stop running. I have heard things about this. I have not heard anybody say this was like their favorite book they've ever read. It is a debut from this author, and it's only 250 pages, so I know I can get through it super quick. Maybe in a day, hopefully. So that is one of the books that I am reading for this horror vlog, our haunted house vlog. So let's put it on the TBR. Alright, time for the special roll. Okay, so this is the lightning round where I answer my 5 Friends questions. And I'm not going to lie, since I haven't been watching Friends recently, I'm probably going to do bad because I only realize I do really well when I'm currently watching Friends and I don't do nearly as well when I'm not. So let me get my timer for 30 seconds. And I have to get at least 3 out of 5 correct in order to not have to do a lightning prompt. All right, and here we go. How did Monica betray Rachel with Ross's girlfriend, Julie? She went shopping with her. Phoebe contracted chickenpox from whom? Not from the... I don't remember. What's the name of the chocolate substitute Monica had to taste test? Mocklet. Why did Phoebe marry her husband? Because he needed his green card. What was Phoebe's ex-husband's occupation? He was an ice skater? I think that's what it is. Okay, let's see. And time's up. She went shopping at Bloomingdale's with her. Yep. Ross's son. Didn't get that. Mocklet. So he could get his green card and Ice Dancer. Boo-yah, baby! And I did know what the color was going to be. It was going to have been purple, which would have been phone a friend. But I don't have to phone a friend because I got 4 out of 5 right, which is pretty good for me. So you know what? Good job, Rainy. Okay, and with that, let me grab the 6 books that are still on this TBR. So we are reading The Spite House, The Book of Two Ways, The Daughter of the Moon Goddess, Legends and Lattes, Book 3 in the Mind F series, and House of Hollow. And so these are the 6 books that I'm committing to for my TBR game. And now I'm just going to really quickly speed through other books that I'm reading for other stuff this month. Okay, so I am participating in 72 Hours in the Smut Den, which is happening, I believe, the 25th through the 27th. And it's run by the Late Night Book Club, but also Bree from Four Paws and a Books is doing it, which is how I found out about it, and Michelle from Michelle's Library. You basically spin a spinner every day, and it's you can either spin the light spinner for contemporary romance or the dark spinner for dark romance. And so I did my spins early just so that I could know what books I need to get to, and I screen recorded it and everything, so I already know that these are what I'm reading. But the first prompt that I got was to read a book with a one title book, and I'm either going to read, I haven't decided which one yet, Pestilence by Laura Thalasso, which is the first of the Four Horsemen's book or series, or Priest by Sierra Simone, which is the first in the Saints and Sinners series. And so this one is about a priest that he breaks his vow of celibacy on the altar of his own church, and so like that's a smutty read. And then this one is about Pestilence, who he has to kill everybody, and she ends up trying to kill him, this girl, and it doesn't work. And then this is their romance. So I just have to decide which of these one-word books romances I want to read, but I'm gonna get to one of them this month. And then the next prompt was to read a book with flowers on the cover, and I only had like 1 or 2 that fit that, and I wanted to read this one more, and I've been wanting to read it. It's a chunker though, it's almost 600 pages, and that's Haunting Adeline by H.D. Carlton. This is like a cat-mouse sinners duet. Apparently it's like very, very heavy dark romance. Like, back to what I was saying before my camera battery so rudely died. It has captor captive and torture and like all this other stuff and stalkers and crap. But I'm very excited to get to it, and I want to buy the sequel. But it is like 600 pages. So gotta be warned for that. And then the final book that I'm going to read, the prompt was Hands on the Cover, and I don't actually have this book, but I've been wanting this book for so long, this is the excuse to finally get it, and that is Still Beating by Jennifer Hartman. And that one is about a girl and her sister's boyfriend who they really hate each other, but one day they accidentally like walk out somewhere and get kidnapped together, and the kidnapper, his main goal is to make the 2 people that he kidnaps fall in love with each other before he like tortures and kills them. And so the first half of the book is like them going through that, and the second half of them is after they escape and like what life looks like for them after they went through such a traumatic bonding experience together. And I've heard nothing but fantastic things about this, so I'm very excited that I finally get to read it, and it worked out for this prompt. So those are the 3 books that I'm reading for sure for the 72 hours in the Smut Den. And then I'm never good at read-alongs, but I've determined that I'm going to do this read along, and I'm going to do it well, is Honest Fiction, and I believe that tall girl, that might be her name on Insta, I could have gotten that wrong, I'll link them below, are doing a read through of one of their favorite series, which is the Ravenhood series by Kate Stewart. And so we're reading 1 book a week from May 15th to June 2nd, and then there's a live show discussion. And so Flock is the first book, and I already bought the Audible exclusive audiobook for this, so I'm ready for that. And then Exodus is book number 2. And then The Finish Line is book number 3. And so I have all 3 books. I'm definitely doing this read along because I've been wanting to read this for the longest time, so I am prioritizing it. I'm going to have to cave and buy like 3 more credits on Audible though, because there's no way I cannot have the audio when I already have the audio for the first book. So I am committed to doing this read along. And then I have a couple other vlogs planned up my sleeve that I'm not going to share about, but since I already talked about the haunted house vlog, I did read How to Sell a Haunted House for that by Grady Hendrix. I am reading Spite House, as you saw. I'm reading Just Like Home by Sarah Gailey because this is a haunted house one, and then I'm also reading Haunt by Ren Montgomery, which is my friend's book that has been on here like 500 times, but this is the time that I'm finally going to read it. Sorry, Ren, if you're watching this, don't hate me. And so those are the books that I'm reading for my haunted house vlog, which actually works out really well because I am participating in Escape the Readathon. And I'm on Team Vacationers, and I can basically read whatever I want for that until I get to a prompt. And so these are like spooky enough for Escape the Readathon. I think that fits pretty well. Then I just have I have Master of Salt and Bones, which I don't know that much about, but it had to have a spice in the title for buzzword. And I didn't read last month's Sorrowland, so maybe I'll read both of those. But those are just like maybe, like I can read the buzzwords at any time of the year, and that's not the big a deal. I do need to still finish Throne of Glass for Besties Book Club because the discussion is on my channel next weekend. So I need to finish that. And I have a couple of books that I didn't finish in April that I want to bring over to May, but I'm not going to announce them here because I've already said like 500 plus books. And I have a lot of books that I want to read, and so that's what it is. So I have a lot of books I need to read. Let me know in the comments down below what books you are reading for May, what book I should prioritize first. Let me know which one you're most excited for. And with that, I'll see you guys in another video very, very soon. Bye.